This is the Hakko FX-951. This is my new soldering station, and I am going to give you guys a little bit of a review of it. It's got a bit wear and tear on it, but I bought it used. So turning the station on, you can see the 888, and if you don't have an iron plugged in, it will scream and say CE. Also comes with a key. I 3D printed this key, so it isn't the original one. Alrighty, so if you plug the iron into the DIN connector, it's got a locking pin, so it locks into the connector. And as you can see, it's pretty sturdy in there. Got an 8-pin DIN connector, which just plugs into the front of the station. It's not a dual port station, it's a single port station. As you can see, I'm moving it around and it's not doing anything bad. Alright, and if we turn it on with the iron plugged in but with no tip in it, it will say SE. SE is sensor error, so no tip. Now this is the FM-2028 handpiece it comes in. I've got a D24 tip in it. It is a chisel, I don't know how many millimeters width. It's got a really nice handpiece. If you unplug the tip, it comes with the sleeve assembly out of it. And you have to push the tip out, like you see here. And you just kind of take the tip out. And that's super easy. And you can swap the tips like this. These are T12 and T15 tips. Pretty standard if I do say so myself. And plugging them into the handpiece again, it's really simple. Just this, click, and yeah. It's pretty sturdy in there. And stylish looking in my opinion. And of course it's got some wear because I bought it used, like remember. Alrighty, so now we're gonna measure how long will it take for it to heat up. Turning the station on, we can see that it's got the temperature set, and now we're starting to heat up. So here we go. Come on. Heat. Already at 300 and 420, and it made one little beep when it got into temperature. So let's melt some solder with this tip. So I'm going to focus on the tip. The temperature is 420 Celsius, and it's melting solder like a champ. Look at all that. Nice. Alrighty, you can also buy another handpiece. This is the Hakko FM-2032 micro soldering handpiece. You can buy this for $60 if you're in the US, and the tips are like $30 each. It's got a pretty nice long cable. The cable is burn proof, both of the handles. Here's a closer look. FM-2032, ESD safe, 24 volts, 48 watts. And now these are the tips that it comes with. I got two tips. It doesn't come with them. I bought them. Each one is around $30. This is the T30-I tip, which is a conical tip. And this is the T30-J tip. This is a bent tip. Really useful. I use it all the time. And this is how the handle itself looks without the tip inside it. Pretty basic if I say so myself. Alrighty, now let's plug the FM-2032 handpiece inside of the 951 station, and we're gonna be measuring how long will it take for it to heat up. Turning it on, and temperature is 420 Celsius again. And you can see smoke coming from the tip. It's already at 420 Celsius. Really quick, less than, 7 seconds. I really do think that the 2032 is a really nice iron add-on. And don't believe me that it's heated up? Look, solder melting. And this is a comparison of how small the micro tips actually are compared to the standard tips of the FM-2028 and the 2027. They're pretty small. Alrighty, now let's actually do some soldering with it. So we will be using the 2028 handpiece and the D24 soldering tip. And we're gonna be wicking off this old solder. So I'm gonna be using this good wick that I bought online. Really good stuff. And now it's kind of struggling, but that's because I didn't melt the solder in the first place. So now that the solder is actually melted, we can take the good wick. And yeah, wicks up really nice, isn't it? And it didn't wick it up fully because I have a lot of used wick on there. Yeah, look, the solder goes out of the wick, but that's not a soldering iron problem. This is also lead-free solder right here. This is Kester 275 lead-free solder. And now let's tin this with some, well, lead-free solder. I use lead-free solder because I have the Kester solder, but trust me, if I would have leaded, I would use lead. So yeah, now look, and it melts solder like a champ. Look at that, nice blob of solder on there. Yeah, we got some new wick that's not been used yet, and clean tip with some brass wool, and look at the results. Whoa, magic, isn't it? I love good wick, and of course you have to clean the leftover flux with isopropyl alcohol, but I am not gonna be doing that on the camera since this is a soldering iron review, not IPA review. So yeah, let's get to the next one. Alright, so let's do some practical soldering with this. So this is my Andonstar AD208 microscope. For the comfort of me, because Final Cut does not accept AVI files, I will just record the screen of the scope from the side. Now, of course, tinning this side of the capacitor with some lead-free solder, no issues there, really nice. Alrighty, I got my 30 gauge conductor stripped very nicely, and I'm gonna be using the giant D24 tip just to show you that you can really, this tip is just immaculate, you can do everything with it. Look how easy the wire tacked into the capacitor. It's just, yeah, look how sturdy it is. The joint is immaculate, love it. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, so what if you are soldering the smaller capacitors, like these 0402 parts, I believe these are. Yeah, these are my tweezers for reference, these are kind of small. Now, again, I will be using the D24 tip just to show you how easy this is, really. Let's take my 30 gauge conductor, stripped again, really nicely, and we will be soldering to this C4D2 capacitor. Look how easy tacked in the wire. Guys, I never had this easy of a soldering iron to use. Quite literally. And again, powering the iron up, let's heat it up to 420 Celsius. Now, one problem I have with the iron is its interface. So let's say you want to change the temperature. You see clicking up down doesn't work, right? No, you have to reinsert the key, and then you can change the temperature, and even then you adjust the individual digit. What was the person at Hakko thinking? And let's try, look, 480. No, it doesn't work. Like, it doesn't tell you error, can't set the temperature. You have to manually change it to 450. And also, what is asterisk and what is pound? Like, pound, pressing pound. What is 050? What is -50? For your information, this is actually the offset. Okay, again, I already showed this to you. Holding the up and down keys while powering gives you the parameter mode. The first setting is Celsius or Fahrenheit. I go over and set it on Celsius because Fahrenheit is bullshit. So, Celsius. The second is sleep timer. So, if you place it into the cradle, how long do you want it to sleep for? I have it on 0 because I don't have the FH200 holder it comes with, so I don't actually use the sleep functionality at all. The third one is offset, we know that one. Fourth, I don't know, to be honest. 5 is do you want it to beep if there's no iron, and 6 is do you want it to beep if there's no tip. And then it just goes to heating the tip normally. FX-951 also comes with the Hakko FX-951B tip cleaner. The Hakko FX-951B tip cleaner is a very good piece of tech, and I like it. I have no problems with it. It's a lot better than the AliExpress tip cleaners, so yeah, I really recommend the FX-951B tip cleaner. The FX-951 also has the sleep jack. If you have the FH200 holder, you can plug it into here. So what do I think about the Hakko FX-951? Well, I do think that it is a really good soldering station. I highly recommend it for the professional and the hobbyist and the weekend pro, I guess I could say. The only issue I have with it is that it's really costly and the interface is pretty crap, to be honest. For a station that takes, you know, your standard T12 tips, I do think it should be cheaper and not as expensive, because the price has only been going up realistically in the last few years, and it should go down because you all know about the Kister T12 soldering station. That one basically does most of the things this one does, and it has a a much better interface. So I do not recommend this for the full price that it comes with. However, I do recommend this if you would have to buy it second hand. I got my unit for around 100 euros, and euros, dollars is basically the same thing. And it came with the 2028, the D24 tip, and the unit alone. This 599B I also bought because it's actually available in Poland. And this FM-2032 I actually bought on vacation in my USA trip. Some of you might have saw that video. I did a little edit roundup thing of the trip itself. Maybe you like it or not, leave a comment there. So if you get this thing for 100 euros, totally recommend it. However, one thing about the clone units is that I know a couple people that use clone of these and they don't have absolutely any issues with them. The clones are just a little less well built. This review is kind of biased, I should mention, because I may or may not be kind of a Hakko fanboy. Okay, maybe I am a Hakko fanboy, but hey, they make good tools. And Hakko, please sponsor me. I love your tools. Quite literally, you're 100% better than JBC in my opinion. I'll be using this until I get the money for the FX-951 and it comes out in Poland. If the hot tweezer would be compatible with the 951, I would get the hot tweezer. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. I think it's the video with the most effort I've ever put in my channel, so I would really appreciate if you would give me a thumbs up. Other than that, I see you later and hope you have a nice day. Bye.